Hey guys, thanks for joining us on the paddle channel. Today we're going to talk about how we shortened a wooden outrigger canoe paddle. You can see this paddle is 50 inches in length. The handle itself is just under 1 inch, so you have to account for that. We start by cutting the handle off, being very careful not to cut the bottom of the handle. We want to preserve that. Cut the handle off, and now we've got to drill the material out of the handle. So in our experiment, we tried a vice grip. That didn't work. That's why I fast forwarded that. You really need a drill press. The Forstner bit's the way to go. The 3/4 inch, or actually we discovered the 7/8 inch Forstner bit was the call on this particular paddle. And the drill press and the Forstner really allows you to be precise. The depth of the cut is very important. You can see here we're being very careful not to go too deep. We ended up going about the same depth. There we're looking at the glue on the inside of the handle, because that glue tells us, okay, we're almost drilled out enough. As we measured the depth of the Forstner bit, it was about 1/2 inch, and that seemed to be about right because it got all the glue out of the inside of the handle. We determined that the depth of that cut was close to 1/2 inch. And we were satisfied that we had gotten most of the glue out of the handle, which was the glue from the very first paddle maker. So now we're trying to size and fit that handle back on, because in my case I wanted to make this paddle just a little over 48 inches long when we were done. So we did a lot of measuring. Make sure you measure more than 2 or 3 times, so that when you do cut off, you're cutting off the right amount. The masking tape is perfect because it keeps you from chipping or splintering the paddle shaft. Five-minute epoxy resin. And here I am pushing down on that paddle, so I got my foot underneath the underneath the paddle blade so I don't damage the paddle blade. And, so the shaft is oval and the Forstner bit is perfectly round. So that's something to keep in mind. Here I'm using a flat board to make sure that handle is straight. And now we're backfilling with that 5-minute epoxy. Got a little messy, but it's easy to clean up. As long as you're working fast, before that resin sets up, you can wipe it off with a rag, which is what we're doing here. And when we get to the final measurement, the top of the paddle ended up being 48 1/4, which was about right, because that's what I was going for, just a little over 48 inches in length.